Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Minot Sports Podcast. We are back again in the studios after pumping out a few shows this past couple week for you guys here. Got a lot of great stuff happening this week as well. Again, we talk Minot sports, and who knows, we might even have a few guests here and there once in a while, and that is such the case today. I'm your host, Cole Clementich, back for another great installment for you guys today. And a little message before we get started here. We just wanted to remind you that although last time I mentioned Swain Hall, as you can tell, we are back in the same studios because we had a little mishappenings or unfortunate events take place in the brand new Hartnett studios that we have delayed the move over there. So it's kind of like a week-by-week basis at this point, so we will stay in Swain for the time being, and hey, nothing wrong with that. But we are sponsored by KMSU. They are the studio sponsor for the Minot Sports Podcast. We thank them for providing the studio space and the equipment to get behind the mic each and every time we can get the chance to. So big thanks to them as always. But with further ado, folks, a local Minot basketball player had a really cool opportunity with help from USA Student Athlete World plus the United World Games Klagenfurt. I don't have the accent for it, but to go down to Austria and compete. Here with us is Ashlee Williamson and her sister Rielee, who I've gotten to know the past couple years. Ladies, how you doing today?
Amazing.
Oh, we're great, except we are still on Europe time, so we're a little tired.
A little tired? Yeah. Hey, I mean, you were telling me pre-podcast that still getting used to the time. How was that, by the way? Just quick opener for you guys. Like, how far off is it from Central Time Zone? Do you guys know by chance?
7 hours ahead.
7 hours.
Yeah, well, we left Miami at 4:30 and got to Portugal at 6 in the morning.
That is quite the extravaganza there, ladies.
Oh, yeah. It was brutal getting there.
And then Portugal to Germany, it was like 1:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, man. I've never been overseas. I mean, I guess the one year I went to Florida, there was a group of high schoolers, or this was still in high school at the time, and a bunch of my old high school friends, they all went to Spain or somewhere. They also had a trip overseas, and boy, it's just the one thing I do something cool to get out of North Dakota. They one up me. So, but I get it. Yeah. But let's get started here. So we'll start with you first, Ashlee. How did this opportunity come about? I guess how did you find out that you were going to Austria?
Well, I started off the beginning of my school year. I was going to a bunch of like showcases and stuff all around the world. And then one day I was like sitting in the school parking lot and I was looking at my emails and like I just seen one and I didn't believe it at first. It was like inviting me to the United World Games. So I did some like research about it and then I sent it to my parents. And then my dad's like, oh my God, we have to go to this.
We have to go. I like that. Wade already on the ball with that. And
he was right away.
Yeah. So did you feel like it was one of those, I don't want to call it scam emails, if you know what I mean? I mean,
I thought it was a scam at first.
Okay, so once you get to college, you use your email more often. You see there's a little tab labeled external, like it's from outside your organization. So it's not like a North Dakota University system email. Most of the time they are shady, but you know, I totally get where you're coming from. You didn't really believe it at first. It was surreal. You didn't, excuse me, but had you known about USA Student Athlete World and or the United World Games in Klagenfurt, previous to this opportunity?
Honestly, I never even knew about it. But like, turns out the United World Game, it's like Europe's biggest tournament that they host there.
Okay. Nice. And had you known about this, Rielee, at all?
No. Never heard of it.
No? Hey, that's fair enough. When you guys, or when Blueprint Basketball had posted about this, these two girls, their dad owns Blueprint Basketball, for those of you wondering what that is all about. He was posting about it on Facebook, and I'm like, United World Games or USA Student Athlete World, I've never heard about that before, so you guys are not the only ones. And Ashlee, had anyone told you you were the only Minot person to go there? Like, did you learn of a list of former athletes. Do you know of anyone from North Dakota has gone to this, or were you the only person to know of?
I'm the only person to know of, again, that I know of, because I'm not sure many other people really knew about it.
Okay, and we'll get more into like the demographics of the teammates that you got to compete with later on. And for those wondering, like, can you share who they are and what they're about for the student athletes, the USA student athlete world and the United World Games? Now that you've gotten to do a little bit of this, can you tell the audience what they're about?
Yeah, so their motto is like 1,000 friends. So I think the big goal for them is they want you to like learn different cultures while making a bunch of different friends doing it, but also trying to compete for gold.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Rielee, you got to tag along, obviously, the family, just kind of watching, seeing or hearing that, like, what does that mean to you and to be able to witness all of that?
Honestly, Ashlee is so much more outgoing than me, and just seeing her go from one group of people that were from a country to the next, and she made friends with them instantly. So I was just like, oh my gosh, okay, I need to tag along with her. And that was the truth. We met 1,000 friends. Like, I still talk to some of them.
And you're wearing the sweater right now.
I am, yes.
Yeah,
Saw USA.
Dressed to impress. I like it. So,
yes.
So yeah, Rielee, you can also be involved in this question. I kind of sort of knew about the fundraising efforts. I bought some of those Jersey Mike's coupons. But can you share with the audience, the decision to go down there and how you guys were able to make it happen? Had you known you were going to go right away, or did it kind of take some time to process a bit, Ashlee?
It definitely took time to process because, I mean, if all four of us were going to go, that was going to be one heck of like a bill, I guess you could say. Very expensive trip. And then finally, my dad, again, he convinced my mom, like, yep, we're going to this. So when we started doing, like, lots of fundraisers, and, I mean, people really did help us, like, throughout all of them.
I think right away, I think we all kind of knew deep down that we were going to go. It was just a matter of, like, okay, are we actually going to commit to this? Which we did, thanks to the community for helping with all the fundraisers that we did, because without any of that, it probably wouldn't have been possible.
Awesome. Hey, big shout out to the Minot community for helping out, and some close friends and family being able to get on that and get you guys to the mountaintop. And talking leading up to the travel, right before, did you change, Ashlee, how you practice, or were you able to just kind of get yourself acclimated to the situation? Aside from fundraising, what other pre-travel preparations, what did they look like for you?
Okay, yeah. So, like, at first, I was just kind of, like, going to Blueprint, and I was just shooting around and stuff. But then, honestly, like, when the trip came closer, I quit shooting, and then I just went to go and lift weights.
Hey, I mean, both routes work, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're working to improve your craft, your game, and, hey, that's good stuff right there. And, tell us how you felt the day before. Were there any nerves or any anxiousness, or were you just stoked to get out there? I kind of assume maybe a little bit of nerves happened.
Well, honestly, which I usually get nervous, but I really wasn't nervous about this because everyone's coming in as like this is all new for everybody. So like it made me not nervous because you could just kind of be yourself, and so was everyone else going to be.
I see. So it's a new experience for everyone. And again, we'll get into some more of these teammates in a little bit, but let's talk your first time, the day you guys got into Austria. Rielee, well, you can be involved in this too. Had you guys been to Austria, first of all, or anywhere overseas for that matter?
Nope, we've never been overseas before.
No. Okay. So this is all like new for like a new way of playing the game and also being cultured,
yes,
of course. So just tell us your guys' first impressions of Austria, first of all.
Well, like, every time we go somewhere, like, it could be Florida or anywhere, I get very anxious and nervous. Like, oh my gosh, I feel so unsafe. And
I feel the same.
I kind of have like a little breakdown every time, but then days later, I'm fine. It's just like a matter of fact, like, oh my gosh, I'm in a new area and I feel unsafe. So when we got there, we had to drive, what was it, 2 hours?
About 2.5 hours.
So from Munich, Germany to Salzburg, Austria. So we had to drive a little bit, and that was not great because you're in this bus and it doesn't have AC, or like just very little because they don't really have AC there. And then with all these strangers and we're all sweaty for 2 hours, it was not good.
So you guys were able to go to a neighboring country for a bit.
Yes,
Yep.
we were.
Awesome.
So, yeah, when we got there, we got to eat in this giant castle. I personally did not like the food. Ashley did.
It was so good. She's just
But-
picky.
But I ate other stuff there that I liked, just not that.
Everyone has their own different tastes. You know,
Yeah.
I can vouch for Rielee on that.
But yeah, so we got to eat there, and then we just kind of hung around our hotel, and it was very small. But other than that, like, that was kind of like the first impression, like, oh, wow, this is small.
You know, when I was in Florida, I actually did kind of eat somewhere kind of like a rock concrete castle type of environment, if you will. It was Disney, of course, so I can kind of picture it in my head of where you guys were eating at. But Ashlee, tell us about the place you competed at. Rielee and I were talking pre-show here a little bit of the name and stuff, but just tell us about this gym that you were playing all the games at.
Oh, okay. So we played in many different gyms, but the one specific gym where like the tournament games went on, there was no corner three. It was such a small court with no corner three at all.
They
So
don't have a board either.
It stopped like right at the wing. Yeah, there's like no scoreboard. The rims, it was a double rim. They didn't have a shot clock, but they counted the shot clock in their head, but they didn't have one.
Oh, so that little extra effort that the refs had to put in, correct?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it didn't feel very small, but like obviously it was small because there was no corner three at all.
So a little bit less scoring here and there, I guess. So
Well, there was another American team, so like there's 3 American teams, 2 with Saw, and you could see like they were trying to get wide and then they'd step out of bounds and then it goes the other way. That happens so
Yeah,
many
that happened
times.
lots of times.
So many times.
I could see that's fair. I could see how that could be a common occurrence every time.
It's so frustrating, but there's nothing you could do about it. You know, it's an accident.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an adjustment, and I'm sure it took a little bit of time with that. But, you know, Ashlee, just talk about, you know, how did the games go? Anything about the format of the event? I believe, looking on Facebook, like, what was it, like a pool play and such like that?
Yeah, pool play, and then into bracket.
Into bracket. Okay, so, yeah, kind of like a little World Juniors in hockey, a little bit of Olympic-style schedule. So, yeah, that's pretty nice. And, you know, how did you feel you did as an individual? We'll get more onto the team in a little bit, but, you know, just kind of talking, were you feeling good going in and after and during? Tell us about that.
No, yeah, for sure. I really like our team. We had no chemistry on the court, but we definitely did off the court. So, like, we all kind of got to come in and just, you know, have no chemistry together, but still do pretty good together.
Good.
Yes, it was hard adjusting to, like, all the different rules there, and especially the ball. The ball was different. It felt like it was like no grip, slippery, and like smaller.
Oh boy, that had to have been like did it feel like did it feel not right at all? Did it feel
Exactly?
not
It felt
normal?
like soft.
Man, that's a lot more adjusting than I realized.
Yeah,
so.
and it like our first game, you can like foul a lot there, and like we were basically playing street ball.
Well, it's
Street
weird
ball.
because for the exhibition games, I thought you guys played really well together, and the fouls you guys could get away with a lot. But as soon as it came to like bracket play, or even like that,
you
like
couldn't do like anything.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can go really crazy with it then.
Yeah,
so like
you could go crazy and then no.
dunk hoops or street basketball, street hoops. Boy, that had to have been an
I
interesting
mean,
experience.
that was bad too, but like the most like crazy rule to me is like when you had the ball, you couldn't move your foot before you moved. Like you couldn't pivot before you put the ball on the ground.
That's
but-
gotta be annoying.
But you could do a 4-step Euro.
Four-step.
A 4-step Euro.
Euro step. Oh man, I gotta contact my buddy Howard about this because he would be losing his mind over that.
Yeah.
He's a big basketball guru, a good friend of mine, fellow grad assistant at Minot State Athletics. That's his specialty is basketball. So
All of us American I guess parents and siblings were like, travel, and they just keep going with it. They keep going with it.
Oh man, I'm sure that was common, and the Austrians are probably like, what are these guys talking about? Like but you guys make such a great point. It's so different, like you said, Ashlee, compared to in the States. Like we have the Summer Olympics coming up, and excuse me, like Team USA, they're assembled, and the way they play, here in the homeland, it's going to be quite different when they go. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know where the Olympics are happening this year, but I'm sure like the referees, they're going to have, they're going to just put their whistles away, because if a player like intentionally flops or falls down, like they're just going to let it roll. That's kind of the memo I got watching last time. So, but yeah, it's quite the adjustment there, as always. And for you, Ashlee, let's talk about the teammates. Were they from different parts of the United States, from all around the country?
So yeah, we had two different 19U teams. There's one East team and one West. So I was on the West, but anywhere from on the West side, they're from all over.
Okay, all right. And were the East, were they like some like major markets like New York, Chicago, Boston, or were they from like other small towns, do you know of?
Small.
Yeah, I think
fairly
small too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's some people from Florida. I know there's a family from Maine.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it was anything crazy, because like on the west side, then there's
Oregon, California, Texas.
Iowa.
Okay, so kind of a wide array of athletes.
Yep.
That's good. That's good that they include everyone in that. And let's talk results from the event. How did you guys do? I saw some scores, and you guys had even won some. I didn't catch all of the details, but enlighten us with some stats, Ashlee.
Okay, so we started off very hot, very good. We won 5 straight games in a row.
Awesome.
And then right when we get into a medal round, we choked. And we lost the medal round. And then we lost again. So 5 straight and then 2 losses. We ended up getting 4th place.
4th place? I mean, hey, for what is it? How many nations are competing in this?
Oh,
you guys,
I don't even
Austria.
know. Like there was like over 20.
This is kind of on the spot. 20? Yeah. 4th out of 20? That's not bad. That's pretty good. Pretty good turnout.
I think if you guys would have done little things differently, we would have.
We definitely would have. We could have won for sure.
More 4 Euro steps, or 4-step Euros.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, I should have put that into use.
Yes, more traveling too.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But Ashlee, some advice you'd give for future student athletes who may come across this opportunity?
Definitely just to branch out and get outside your comfort zone and just go meet people, because I mean you'll probably regret it later if you don't go and do what you wanted to do.
Hey, that's some good intel right there. And I going back to my Florida example, I obviously was with some friends. I got to meet other new people, experience new things, and new culture. And the humidity just hit me like, being paddleboarded or something, but it was crazy. Rielee, let's include you on some of these questions here. So tell us about, we were talking pre-show again. Tell us about some of the events you guys got to do as a family.
That was honestly, so like I was telling Cole, we had about 9 or 10 days there. And I think like 4 of those days were basketball. All the rest were just exploring Austria. So we went to a salt mine, which was cool, but
it was cool.
There was other cool things, I feel like. And then
nice.
The first concentration camp, Dachau, which was such a somber experience. I wish I had more time there. That's all. You got to see more of it than I did because I was reading.
Because you were running. Because I turned behind. Because our bus, they decided to tell us when we're supposed to leave, when no one had their phones.
20 minutes.
20 minutes before we had to leave, yeah.
Yeah.
And I turn around and I see her and a group of girls trying to run so they can go see the rest of it.
Because me and my dad, we were taking our sweet time in the main area, just reading all about it, because it was
getting a history lesson.
So much to know about it. So we're just taking our sweet time, and then my dad's like, we should probably speed up a little bit. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's go. So we go, and then we met with one of Ash's teammates, and they were like, oh yeah, we have 20 minutes left, and we're like, what?
Huh?
We still had like the entire camp left.
I mean,
so we're just running through it.
you can't just rush the whole experience like that.
That's what I'm saying. Such a staple part of history, and I'm running through it.
No, I
what
get
else
it.
Did we do?
We went to Venice.
Oh, yeah.
Italy.
How did I
Venice.
forget about
Oh
that?
yeah, Venice.
Yep.
That's
That was
also
a very cool
You
experience.
mentioned that pre-show.
Yeah, I wish it was a little colder. It was very hot that day. But we just shopped.
Yeah, really, just shopped and ate. And
Yeah.
their lasagna, it's not very good.
Oh,
It is not very good.
Okay.
Not.
hot takes from Ashlee.
I feel
Good to know.
like
I was not impressed with it. The ones I get at hotels, like, like the freezer ones, the box, those are way better.
I feel like a lot of their stuff has just had to be like, you think like I think of Ratatouille and I'm like, oh, that looks so good. They're actually making that. Like they're not throwing it in the microwave and like heating it for 45 seconds and serving it. I feel like some of that stuff is what happened there.
I agree.
Advice for future goers of Austria. So,
Yes.
so you told us a little bit about the food. Share with us.
Schnitzel. Eat schnitzel. It's so good.
It's not that good.
So good.
It's not the best.
I'm kind of seeing a split decision on this. So
I am a picky eater, and that was delicious.
I'll take your word for it.
Man, I eat anything.
I'll take
It was
yours
not
for
that good.
consideration too, obviously. So, but yeah, you guys were describing us the food. Tell us a little bit about the culture, and you guys may have gotten to meet other non-locals from other countries.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
There's a lot of things that culturally are the same, but also not. Like, I feel Europeans have this very, like, oh, we're so nice. But a lot of them were not. We got yelled at a few times. But they also see Americans as these loud, obnoxious,
Obese.
obese people that are just, rude, I guess. And so they just kind of are very... Not all of them, of course. Just some that we came across.
There was I was listening to for favorite sports talk radio station down in Denver, my personal favorite, Altitude Sports Radio. Shout out to them. And I forget which country it was, but they were doing like some. I think they were talking Euro Cup, and they were talking some history lesson for a specific country, and a thumbs up may seem nice here. It actually means up yours in a different country.
Really?
I have to check to see what country it was, but it's what may seem culturally appropriate here may not be in other places. So I totally get where you guys are getting at. But were there any language barriers, different currencies, and did you guys pick up any souvenirs at all?
Yes,
Oh, absolutely.
Lots of souvenirs. Currency, we switched that out at the airport, so I still have some at home that I'm like, I'm keeping this.
Me too. Saving up.
But a lot of people, which is crazy to me, they knew English. Like they knew German, they knew English,
They knew
Italian.
Austrian.
Yeah. Like they just knew all these things, which I thought was crazy because they know like they're bilingual and we just know English.
We know English.
Like we know a little splash of Spanish, I suppose.
Okay.
Some people. But there were some language barriers and we just whip out Google Translate. We did that quite
And then
a
just
bit.
play it right to them.
Nice. There,
Yeah.
hey,
Or have them read it and then they type back.
Yeah.
hey, that's the way to go. Did any of the Italians get like full on Italian with you guys?
So we have this one. We just love him.
We loved our Italians. We say we met a lot of Italians.
Nice.
We met a lot of countries, but the Italians will have our heart forever.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. So one of them, they were saying good luck to Ashlee for her game, and he was like, "It's beautiful," and it's so
Nice.
Italian core. And I'm like, "Do you guys do this a lot?" And they're like, "Sometimes, yeah."
You do a good job at it.
Thank
and,
you.
And by my, I got to pull it up here again. Klagenfurt. Yeah, that's the basic American accent. I'm not even going to try and attempt that on a podcast right now. But where else did you guys go visit? I recall you mentioning Munich, Germany once.
Yeah. So we flew in there, and then we drove to Austria, and then went.
Salzburg, Austria.
Yeah. So
Okay.
And then after spending some days there, then we drove to Klagenfurt. And then when it was time to go home, then we went back to Munich, had a day there, if even a day. Ate at Hard Rock Cafe and then went to sleep, and then it was time to go in the morning.
No, we did not go to bed.
Oh, yeah, we didn't go to
We had to be, like, up and down at the lobby at, like, what time?
2.
2.
In the
Yeah, so
morning.
we did not sleep.
Yeah, we didn't go to sleep.
Lost sleep during the journey. I mean, hey, that's pretty normal for, what, jumping 7 time zones, you said?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then coming back, that was kind of brutal.
Oh, God, it was horrible.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, because we got back at 4 in the morning this time. So that'd be 11 in the morning there. So it was hard to go to sleep.
Brutal.
Yeah, when we got back 4 in the morning, I told myself, I was like, I cannot be falling asleep or my sleep schedule will never go back to normal. So I stayed up all the way until 4 in the morning to 9 p.m.
Oh, my gosh. I slept like the whole
and
day when I got
I
back.
couldn't imagine
And
that.
I crashed on the floor. Like, I didn't even, like, I was right by a chair. I fell asleep on the floor because I couldn't stay awake any longer.
Oh, man. No, that's a mood right there. I feel ya.
Yeah, I was the opposite. I got home and I was like, okay, I need to go to sleep. Because I was tired, but after flying and driving, I was like, okay, we're just going to go to sleep. And I slept until 3 p.m.
Holy.
Yeah, I was a tired one.
Yeah, it helped, though, that I slept, like, 5 straight hours in the airport.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as you guys got, were able to recharge, got some juice out of it, maybe not so bad after all. But tell us your favorite moment from your guys' visit.
Mine was definitely the open ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like where all the teams were in the stadium, and then you gotta go with your country, and then you all walked out on the floor, and like everyone like cheered for you and stuff, and like
Sweet.
it was crazy, and they had like fireworks and everything. But that's the day where I like met everyone, like most of the people. So it was really, really fun.
So that's what the fireworks were all about.
Oh, yes. I think what is really cool, like it just sent shivers down my spine, was that they'd call like different countries like USA, Germany, Austria, all these things, and just seeing everybody in the crowd like go crazy for their country. And they were playing like their national anthem.
Nice.
Like seeing everybody's love for their country. Oh, I loved it. But my favorite part was just probably meeting people. That was fun. Oh,
Hey, that's
on the
fair,
last day, we did go to a lake, and that was so much fun.
The lake was the best lake ever. Like, I'm talking, I did not feel like a fish was gonna touch me,
I'm terrified
Oh.
of fish, and I didn't feel scared.
or like any seaweed or anything.
So you'll go to a lake there, but
Yes.
you wouldn't risk going to like Lake Audubon or something,
Well, I go to Lake Sakakawea.
or
But
Sakakawea, I suppose.
this lake
yeah.
in Austria trumps Sakakawea.
Hey,
Oh yeah, and it's like
That's fair.
blue. The water's blue.
Oh,
like clean, fresh.
Clean,
Yes.
fresh.
Okay.
like we jumped in, we're like, this is nice.
No, exactly.
luxury.
I think we got out to eat, and then we were right back in there. Had a big brat, and then we were right back in there.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, you guys are close to Germany, so I mean, bratwursts are probably pretty common. So
Yeah, they were okay, though.
Another mention of food there. So, Rielee or Ashlee, any advice for future tourists of Austria?
Just try new things. Like,
Yes.
especially I think with the food, is like just branch out again and just try what you can, because like who would want, if you're in a foreign country, who would want to go to like a McDonald's or something? Well, I mean, someone wanted to. Someone did go to McDonald's.
American McDonald's is better. You can taste the grease and the
Oh,
horrible more in the American McDonald's, and I like that.
you like it.
The
Good to know.
European McDonald's tasted too healthy, and I was like, nope, not for me. Hey, at least
I
I
could
tried
see
a
that.
European McDonald's though,
I could
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that.
true.
and I didn't necessarily like it, but I tried it.
And get strawberries while you're there too.
Ooh, their
Strawberries.
are good.
I've never had a better strawberry in my life. And
Their
like,
orange juice.
I should
Short-
have tried the orange
The
juice.
orange
honestly.
juice is so good there. I drink so much orange juice, and then I come back here and have orange juice, and I'm like, this is not the same.
This is
This
disgusting.
is not the same.
Where are we getting our orange juice from?
Not from where they are, and I'm a little upset about it.
Oh my gosh. And one more thing is be careful on the type of water you get.
Oh,
Because sparkling water is a huge thing there. And like some of them, like some of the containers say like mild and like natural, and like what was like the
Obni.
that one. And Obni, Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the normal one. But of course, like, I thought natural would be like the normal type of water. No, I got it, and like my whole mouth just burning from like all of the carbonation.
Yeah, sparkling water is very popular there, just like normal water is here. So they'll ask you, like, oh, can I get water? They're like, still or sparkling? They're like, still. Still.
You say it sternly.
Yeah.
Still water.
Yeah, because I got water. We were in Germany, so it was right off the bat when I got there, and I was like, oh, this is what I need, a big, fresh bottle of water. I took a drink, and I'm like, I got tricked so hard. But my dad likes sparkling water, which is weird. He's like, okay, I'll drink it. And I was like, okay,
their water was cheap there. Like, you could get one, like, it was like that tall, that wide, and it was like 33 cents, euros, whatever.
Oh, so it converted to American currency, like under 50 cents? Dude, that's a good deal.
Right? That was another thing. Like, things were oddly cheap there or oddly expensive. Like, it was just kind of like no in between. Like, we got 2 giant croissants, and my mom got a coffee, and it was 11 euros. And I'm like, that's been $25 here.
Yeah, no kidding.
So the fact that it was under 15, I was like, okay.
Well, we could be talking about food all day, but I don't know if we have the time for that. But ladies, thank you so much for being on the Minot Sports Podcast today. Ashlee, sharing your experience, Rielee, telling us about, you guys both, quite frankly, sharing with us the whole Austrian extravaganza. Anything else you guys like to share as part of a last-minute deal that the audience may want to know about?
I think just a huge shout out to Student Athlete World, because they found a little girl from North Dakota and they took her in, and they just made everybody feel like family there. They set up everything so beautifully. I couldn't ask for a better organization. Beautifully.
Yes, and just everything was so organized. We never had I never felt rushed. It was just it was smooth sailing.
Oh, speaking of that, I do have a story, though, that happened.
Let's share it.
Scarred me. I'm going to be scarred for life. So we're in Salzburg, and we're in, this, square downtown, having a good time. And then it was time to leave because she had a game. And so we're walking. We walked so much that day. And then I'm like, where's my phone?
Uh-oh.
I know. And she was with her friends, and then I was with my parents, and they were like, oh, we'll check your backpack, because, pickpocketing is kind of, a thing there. And so I was like, okay, I'll check my backpack. Not in there. So then I go on my watch to, ding it, and it's not connected. And I was like, oh, gosh. So I start running back. I left my backpack, everything with my mom, and I start running back to, that square, freaking out, trying to find it. I looked on the 2 benches I was sitting at. It was not there. And then there's, this little group of boys there. And I was like, hi, guys. Have you seen a phone? And they just staring at me. I'm like, great, you don't speak English. Lovely. So
then people who don't speak English.
Yeah. Of course, the best time you want them to speak English is that moment.
And they're just staring at me, and I'm like, no phone? No? And they're like, I was like, okay, great. And then this older guy comes up to me. Yeah, he comes up to me. He's just like, oh, you're looking for a phone? And I was like, yes, you have my phone. He was like, oh, this taxi driver has it. And I was like, okay. So I'm waiting for this taxi driver to come out of the bank, and he does. I'm like, oh, hi, you have my phone? He's like, and I'm like, I don't have money with me. I dropped my stuff and ran to come find my phone. He's like, I take credit card. And I'm like, I don't have my credit card either. Can I have my phone, please? I was so polite and patient. I'm like, can I please have my phone? And he's like, can't help you. I need money. And I'm like, so then he's like, you can go ask around for money. And I'm like, ask these people for money? I was just like, well, I don't know anybody, and I don't know if they speak English. He's like, sorry, can't help you. And I'm like, can I please just have my phone? And then he pulls my phone out of his back pocket and tells me to type in my passcode to call my mom or dad to come bring them money, or for them to bring me money to give this guy.
Took it and ran with it.
That's what I did.
There you go.
He snatched it out of his hands and ran.
Yeah,
nice.
He kind of turns it to me, and I grab it a little bit to see if it's loose, and I snatch it and I run. And I'm running, and I look behind me, and he's chasing me. He's running after me. And then I get scared and I start crying. And so I just keep running, and I keep running. And then I look behind me, and then he slowed down and started walking back to his taxi, because I'm sure he couldn't leave it. And then I'm running to my mom, told her everything that happened. The bus waited for me, and we got to the game.
Yeah, during this, everybody is sitting there waiting on the bus for them, because there's a law there where you can't have your car or whatever running because it pollutes the air or whatever.
Oh.
So we had to all sit on the bus dripping sweat with no AC in like the 80-degree weather.
I got my phone though.
There you go.
It was all good. But that was my story, so don't lose your phone.
All in
It's
a
all
happy
for
ending.
Austria. Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. Very happy ending.
Awesome. Well, we thank you, too, for being on the Minot Sports Podcast today. And once again, big thanks to Rielee and Ashlee Williamson for their time and, sharing their stories and just their overall experience from overseas in Austria. And we want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Minot Sports Podcast. Again, we are back in Swain indefinitely for the time being. We're not sure when the move to Hartnett Hall will be for sure. Maybe likely before the school year. But again, crazier things have happened. Again, some unforeseen circumstances with the broadcasting department over there. It was fine for a semester, but then, weirder things have happened. A little bit of water involved. I won't get too deep into details, but hopefully all their offices are okay. The clean tech crew and the campus maintenance, they're all hard at work, so we thank them big time for their help in the cleanup process. But again, want to thank you guys for watching, and thank you too again for being on the show. I'm Cole Clementich signing off. You guys have a good rest of your day, and again, have an enjoyable rest of your summer.